In the panorama of recent decades, a rich variety of dance movement has evolved as contemporary dance. It's the achievement of lifetimes of exploration by innovators, among whom Martha Graham stands at the fore. In early works, Graham sought to strip movement to its bone. Her incisive approach to dance required that movement be as immediate and necessary as breath itself, that it pulse, alive and vibrant as the movement from life that she wished to synthesize. She tapped into the vast resources of the human body to build a visual language which continues to speak to us through her dances and in the work of other dancers and dance makers. Phyllis Gutelius took the first step of many when she began as a student in Graham's School of Contemporary Dance. Her progress from company member to the performance of Graham's roles was under Graham's direction. Today, she directs a rehearsal of her own work, which is part of a broader program to introduce advanced ballet students to contemporary dance. Gutelius incorporates the movement, vocabulary, and principles developed by Graham in her dances and in the framework of classes designed to prepare the dancers for their work in rehearsal and performance. The exercises in this videotape combine with the floor exercises shown in Tape 1 to complete the course of training developed by Gutelius. It is critical to the work at all levels to relate the movements of the torso developed in the floor exercises to move the standing dancers into space. The structure and content of the 6 segments of the floor work have a counterpart in the standing work. Deep-centered movement in parallel position renews the focus on the core of the body. Small brushes and demi-pliés stretch and articulate the legs and feet as the dancers increase their awareness of changes in the torso. The lift and support by the stomach and lower back muscles frees the hips for increased rotation in changes from parallel to first and second. Each weight shift establishes contact with the floor. The dancers press the feet down into the floor as they lift up through the hips and torso against the pull of gravity. In Part 2, the movement of breath extends the depth of the plié and supports the rebound up from plié. The positive tension of breath produces a flowing movement quality and develops awareness of a central line through the core of the body. The guidelines for placement established in floor work are developed for the erect torso. The center line from the base of the throat through to the base of the spine extends downwards over the instep of the standing foot. To stretch off-center, the dancer lengthens forward from the break of the legs, maintaining the plumb line that relates the upper and lower torso. The same key points are applied for the body in curve. The dancer pulls up from the floor through the soles of the feet, thighs, hips, and stomach as the ribs and chest fold back against the spine. The attention on the pulse of breath through the dancer's center develops as the dancer moves through changes from curve to straight and into off-center curves. As the students advance, greater strength increases the power to lift and support movement as balance develops. Part 3, the figure of 8. The figure 8 image recurs in lessons at all levels. The first group develops the primary elements in exercises that begin in profile with the body in curve. The contraction presses back and centers the weight over the back leg. The front hip begins the spiral. As the hip and shoulder rotate to the front, the spine coils back around the axis of the back leg. The rotating hip, shoulder, and leg finish coiled in opposition to the back leg and side. The dancers lift and brace against the back leg as they stretch around center for maximum turnout in third, fourth, and fifth position. In spiral movement, it's essential to emphasize that the support of the stomach and lower back lifts the hips to the perpendicular and keeps the upper torso correctly aligned over the hips. Small brushes and ankle changes at different degrees develop the use of opposition, coordination, and a sense of the shifting weight. As the students articulate and stretch the feet and legs, they are also developing the potential for spiral turns later in the class. Part 4. In this section, the students intensify the stretch between the legs in brushes that travel in space. They focus on the effects of gravity as they learn to control the momentum of their shifting weight. Turns are introduced, initiated from the momentum of contractions or the recoil into and out of spiral. Part 5. Combinations at the center, or barre, include spiral turns and off-center contractions and stretches. The torso and legs move at full pitch, with leg extensions and brushes at full height. The dancers lift against gravity and learn to support and control their falling weight with extension and strength built up in the primary exercises on the floor and at the center. The discovery in Part 6 is that the power for travelling movement and high jumps is to be found in the simplicity of walking. The students learn to use the floor as a purchase to project themselves into space. The focus in walking as a dancer involves 3 primary elements. 1. The motive power is in the standing leg, which pushes against the floor to propel the dancer. 2. The control and balance centers in the hips, with support from the stomach and lower back. 3. The reach of the extending leg to carry the dancer to the limits of physicality. The result, when the 3 elements interact, depends on different catalysts. A contraction can initiate a change in direction or suspend the dancer in a hover that sweeps across the floor. Group 1 begins with slow walks that develop speed and momentum until they propel the dancers into the air. Group 2 runs into triplets and triplet leaps, low to the floor or at maximum elevation. Group 3 uses spiral and contraction in combinations that change direction or levels in space.